Hello traders, Thunderbolt here. Welcome back to another YouTube video, and this is the weekly outlook series. So if you guys have been watching or following up on this series, then you know that this series has been really instrumental for a lot of traders. I've been getting a lot of feedback that you guys have been able to stay on top of price action for the next week just by watching this series. So it is always a pleasure, guys, to do this for you. And without wasting a lot of your time, I want to get straight into the video. And if you guys are enjoying this content, please don't forget to leave me a like and to subscribe. You can also leave me a nice comment, just to motivate me. And I'm sure that you guys are going to enjoy this type of series. Okay, so without much ado, let's get straight into the video. So as usual, we'll start with DXY. Okay, because we'll be looking at DXY, the majors, that is EU and GU, and then gold. I had also gotten some requests to look at assets like AU, which is Audi USD, NZD USD, USD JPY. Unfortunately, I will not be looking at them in this series, but starting from the next episode, I'll be sure to start looking at a few other pairs, maybe Audi USD or USD JPY, all right? And I'm sure you guys are still going to learn a lot. But if you still need me to look at those assets, please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. You can join the community using the link in the channel profile or in the description of this video. Okay, and then when you join the community, just request, or you can always tag me and request that I look at the asset that you want, and I'll be sure to do that for you. Okay, so DXY, this is what we have on DXY on the weekly time frame. You guys have been, for the guys who've been following me long enough, you know that I've always been talking about this low getting taken out. That was sell side, and then we went for the other side of the range. Okay, now this is what we have. Okay, so we've always been expecting external back to internal range, which was this fair value gap, and we saw that this fair value gap was disrespected to the upside, and we took out buy side. Okay, so we've already taken out external range liquidity. Now we are coming back for internal range. Okay, so we've taken out external range back to internal range. We have this fair value gap over here, which I expect that the market is actually going to come into. We've not quite come into that fair value gap yet, but I'm expecting that we take out that fair value gap, that previous weekly low as well, and then continue with our direction. Okay, so now what do we expect from next week? We expect now, we can't always assume that the fair value gap will hold, but ideally that's what we'd want to see. Okay, so what do we expect based on this momentum that we had? There's nothing about this candle that tells us buys. Okay, so we can still expect more sells. Okay, until we take out, or rather until we take out this low, and then take out this low into this fair value gap. Okay, so until we take out this, so what can we expect? We can always expect the market to open here, open high, low close. Okay, and as the market creates the high or the top week of the weekly candle, we can always trade the sells lower into this fair value gap. But that is just one scenario. The market can open low, okay, and then takes out our first strong liquidity, which is the previous weekly low, and this low into this fair value gap, and then we can always start looking for reversal trades into the upside. Okay, so if we do that, then our first drawn liquidity is going to be the previous weekly high, which is this, and then this eventually, if we get to close inside of this range, then we'll continue to target buy side all the way up to here. So let's look at the daily time frame and see what we have. So on the daily time frame, we can see that we have some really nice relative equal lows at this point, okay, which looks very high probability that we are going to take out these first before we actually proceed to buy side. So in case we do that, okay, this is what we have. We have this gap that was created between Tuesday and Wednesday, which usually most of the time acts as a fair value gap or an imbalance, and we can always expect the market to come back and fill that zone. So if the market decides to open high in the first scenario that we talked about, so open high, okay, we can expect that the high of the week forms inside of this gap, and as we trade lower to target this previous weekly low and this fair value gap, this is where we want to be taking ourselves from. Okay, if the market opens on the daily time frame, okay, and trades lower, all right, so if the market opens, trades lower, takes out these relative equal lows and takes out this previous daily low into this weekly fair value gap and closes as a swing point or a C2 candle, or we form a swing point at this particular point, then we can always look for buys higher. Our first target is going to be this previous daily high. Okay, as you can see, we've been trading inside of this range. We've been trading inside of the range of Wednesday. So if we take the range low, we can always expect to take out the range high into this gap over here. If we disrespect this gap, then we can look for more trades higher into these previous weekly highs over here as our final targets for buys. So that is what I have on DXY. Let's look at GU. So in case you guys have questions, you can always ask in the comment section, or better still, you can always join the community and you can always talk to me directly. So on GU, this is what we have again. We took out this high, okay? Remember, last week I talked about SMT, okay? So if you look at DXY, we actually took out this. This is a low on GU, but it is actually a high on DXY, okay? So this is Monday 17th. You can see we took that out, okay? So you can see this is Monday 17th around here, but you can still look at this low as well. You can see we took this out, okay? So I was wondering, is this a case where we have SMT like that? Or is it a case where one asset is lagging, all right? So we have GU lagging and we expect GU to catch up, all right? So, but at this point, I'm starting to look at this like we have SMT. We closed above this zone over here, which could actually be a CSD. So with the way that we close, we can expect an open low, high close candle. All right. So on DXY, we had two scenarios. Okay. On DXY, we had two scenarios. One is more sells. Okay. We have this value gap. So expect this is our reversal point. Or we can also still disrespect the fair value gap and continue to sell. Okay, or we can respect the fair value gap and continue to buy. On GU though, we don't have a fair value gap, okay, but we have these highs over here. So if this is SMT with, let me annotate it here. So SMT with DXY, then we can expect the market to continue trading high. Okay, so if this is the case, this is what I'll expect. I'll expect for the market to open low, close higher. Okay, what will our first draw be? We can see we have some nice. We actually took out this high, okay, which was our drawn liquidity for last week. So what can I expect? I'd want to see the market make another run higher, because there's nothing about this candle that tells me that we want to sell. Okay, so what do I want to see? I'll want to see the market open, trade higher one more time, take out this previous weekly high, and then start trading lower, and then I can start looking for sells. Okay, so I want to see an open high, low close candle. Okay, and then if you're actually going to continue higher, then I'll be looking for reversals from this CSDOB to continue trading higher. Okay, so same scenario as what we're expecting on DXY. If we open low, then I'll be looking for buys. Okay, then I'll want to see buys. But if we open high, take out this, then I'll want to look for sells. It is just a probabilities game. You just have to wait and see what the market does, and then anticipate, just trade the reaction. Okay, coming into the daily time frame, this is what we have. Okay, so we have this high that looks like we already purged it a bit, but the market is still moving up to it. Okay, so you can see the last 2 weeks we've been trading inside of the range of the candle of Wednesday, like that. And you know what we usually say about inside bars is their consolidations. Okay, so we left another fair value gap over here. Okay, so now here's what I want to see. If we trade higher, okay, take out this high, then I'll be looking for sales up to this fair value gap and maybe potentially start trading higher. But because I'm also expecting buys on DXY, if we disrespect this, then I want to continue looking for sales, potentially to taking out this low that we see that was left here, if that is not at all SMT. But we just want to wait and see. Okay. But if the market opens and trades lower, this is where I want to see the low of the week formed, and I want to continue trading high. This as my first target, and then continue to taking out these highs as liquidity all the way up to this external range liquidity. So that is what I will be looking for. This time the market is not as clear, so we have to wait and trade with confirmations. Okay, let's look at EU. Let's see EU, what we have on EU. Okay, so we took out this high, okay, and then went lower and took out this. So this is the low of Monday 3rd, 17th. So you can see we also took this low on EU. Okay, so this could also be SMT with GU. Okay, so GU, remember GU did not take it. GU was something like this, but we have taken out this low. Okay, so last week I was expecting that we take out this as our next drawn liquidity, but that is not what happened. Okay, so what happened last week? The previous week we took out this low. Okay, so we formed our swing point at this point, and you can see the type of reaction that we have. We had this CSD OP form around over here, which we're expecting that now this, and the whole of this is now an order block. We have the market coming into this fair value gap, but the way the market is actually trading into this fair value gap, there's a likelihood that we also violate it. Okay, so this was a very strong candle, and we also closed very strong near the high. Okay, so what can we expect this coming week? An open high, low close, an open low, high close. If that happens, if we open and trade lower, then I want to see more price action higher to take out this. Okay, but if we open and trade higher, take out the previous daily high and close inside of that range, then I'll want to look for sells, potentially to taking out this low over here as sell side, and taking out this low over here potentially. Okay, so again, those are two scenarios that I want to see. Okay, if we open low, okay, and start trading higher, I'll be looking for buys to target all these highs. But if we open high and take out this and close inside the range of this, then I'll want to continue trading lower. Okay, let's see what this looks like on the daily time frame. So you can see we are reacting nicely. We also have a daily fair value gap right here. Okay, but I'll just leave this as it was. Now, this is what we have. Unlike on GU, we actually took out this high. So GU with this high was left intact. So that could also be SMT around this zone. So you can see this high was actually taken out on EU. And GU failed to do that. So that could also be SMT. So now what would I expect from this high? I just need structure or candle to confirm this SMT at this particular point. Okay, so this is what I want to expect. If Monday And we can also, this is not really a really good swing point. So what we can do is we can wait for candle 3. So what would I want from candle 3? I want to see a candle that closes nicely bearish. Okay, so I want to see a candle that closes nicely bearish to confirm this swing point, and then I can continue trading lower. So I expect this fair value gap to actually hold. And if we do that, then my first run liquidity can be this. But remember, we also have a fair value gap at this point. We have fair value gap number 1, number 2, and that is a chain fair value gap. So I'll still want to see how price reacts from this fair value gap. If we start trading lower and we disrespect this, so then I'll be looking for something like that. But remember, we can also have a case where the market trades lower and this holds and we continue creating bullish order flow. Then I'll start targeting these highs over here that have been left. So this will be my liquidity points that I'll want to target. All this, we need to wait for confirmation to see what the market actually does. And the reason I'm saying that is because the way the last week's candles close and the PDRs that we have are not telling us the same story. So usually we want to see the market react with some sort of rejection anytime we come into a PDRA. So like this, we would expect that the market closed with some bit of bearish rejection, same as DXY. Okay, so DXY, we also expect that last week also we didn't actually come into this fair value gap. So this week will actually tell us a lot of that story. But the way we actually approaching that fair value gap tells us a lot. This is a very huge bearish candle, which means there's a lot of sell momentum. So we cannot actually say that we'll have a bullish reaction from this fair value gap. We could easily just create another huge bearish candle. Usually we want to see very small candles as we approach such arrays, especially because this is a retracement and we're expecting to go bullish after that, which is now retracement into expansion. So expect very tiny fair value gaps, but the way we're approaching this fair value gap tells us a lot of story, tells us a lot. Same as this, we want to see very tiny candles sort of in a consolidation way coming into this fair value gap, but the way we came into this fair value gap tells us a lot, which could be a case of a reversal. So an expansion into another expansion, which is a reversal. And if we disrespect this, then we want to see this high go over here. So that is what I'll be looking at. And that is what I'll be trying to pay attention to and observe and react to what the market actually does. Let's look at gold. This is what we expect on gold. So remember last week, I told you I want to see an open low high close into this weekly fair value gap. Okay, this really huge one. And you can see we took out this, which is what I had told you I'll be expecting to see. I'll be expecting to see this previous weekly imbalance gone. On the daily time frame, what I had actually told you I want to see this fair value gap hold, so that you can take out this previous daily high, create a swing point at this point. And then now if we are actually interested in going bearish, we can start targeting this and these lows that we left over here. But if the market wants to trade bullish, then I want to see this being disrespected. Okay, like this, and then continue to trade high. But let's see what we're actually expecting for this week. We took out this previous weekly low. We also took out this previous weekly high into this weekly fair value gap over here. Okay, so a lot of the momentum is also bearish. So we closed also nicely with a very nice C2. So what I can expect an open high, low close candle. So I'll expect the market to open here. Okay, trade slightly higher and then start creating bearish price action all the way to targeting this low. And remember, I always want to trade what I see, not what I think. So there's a lot of geopolitical stuff going on around. So it is really easy to be biased and say that gold is an asset that is a safe haven in times of uncertainty, and you always want to look for buys. So the problem with marrying your buyers in such a way is that you miss out on a lot of good trades, okay, and that is a big problem. So you always want to also look at what the technicals are telling you. So this is what the technicals are telling me. We had this fair value gap, okay, that did its job because we took out this previous weekly high. So in case the market comes back to this fair value gap, I expect it to fail. We are also reacting from this daily imbalance over here, which is where price currently is. So remember the saying, the wicks do the damage, but the bodies tell the story. So I don't care how many times this fair value gap is being disrespected. As long as we're not closing above it, I can still expect it to hold price and continue to trade lower. So what do I expect? So we took out this high, closed with a very nice rejection candle. I think it was a C2 at this particular point, not yet. But you can see price is also coming back to fill part of this week. Now, we've not still closed above, disrespected this week entirely. I think we've come into the EQ, which is still where, which is still within my allowable margin of where I expect candles to actually close. And you can see we are closing below the EQ. So we are still respecting the EQ of this daily candle. Based on the way we closed last week, on Friday, we closed as an inside bar inside the range of Thursday. Now, what do we usually say about inside bars? We say they're consolidations. So this is the range high now. What do I expect from this consolidation? I expect the market to open at this particular point, trade higher, take out this, close, giving us a swing point, and then we can continue to trade higher to target these lows. Okay, so that is what I want to see. Either we take out this high over here, close within this candle, or we take out this, but I'd prefer taking out this because this is just a failure swing to this high, unless we have SMT. With XEU Euro, we do not have. Maybe we have with silver. We actually take out Thursday's high on silver. So which means we have SMT at that particular point. So we have SMT here. Okay. So which means we don't but necessarily need to take out this high again. What we can do, we also have PSP. So if you look at the way we closed on gold, bearish. If you look at silver, silver closed bullish. Okay, so we have PSP where the candle that gives us the swing point closes in a different direction with a correlating asset. So that confirms the SMT for us. So we can start looking for bearishness. So what will I want to see on gold? I will want to see an open high, low close candle like that to continue trading lower. What will I be looking to target? I will be looking to target this low over here and potentially target these lows over here as my drawn liquidity. So that is what we have on the majors, that is the dollar, the EU, and the GU, and on gold. And in case you have questions, please don't hesitate to leave them down in the comment section, and I will get back to you. Anything else you'd want me to cover in my videos, or any new series or concepts you'd want me to cover, also please let me know. So if you enjoyed this, please don't hesitate to give me a like, a comment, and a subscription. Okay. And if you want to see more of the executions, please join the community. The link will be in the description of this video. If you also want to work directly with me in a mentorship that we've actually designed, please also click the link. It will also be in the description, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye.